uh, काम कर रही है।
Guys, let's get started by 9:05. Still, I think some more people are going to join.
Hello. Hello, sir.
Okay, guys, let's get started. I'll just share my screen now. Did you get a chance to look at the homework questions? I think the homework questions were pretty simple, right? You may have done it previously, or you may have actually solved it in a module, right? Yeah. So the sole purpose of doing the questions again is to recapitulate your memory, so that even if someone has written the answer, then you can just do it by yourselves.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
सर ये सेशन एरे के रिवीजन के लिए है क्या?
क्या किसके लिए?
एरे के रिवीजन, एरे।
हाँ, एरे, हाँ।
सर इससे पहले कोई और रिवीजन सेशन हुआ थोड़ी है, फर्स्ट है ना एरे रिवीजन का?
इससे पहले कोई
दूसरा रिवीजन सेशन थोड़ी हुआ है, ये फर्स्ट सेशन है
एरे का first।
Okay, sir.
You can ask these doubts on the chat, by the way. Or focus more on interview specific. So we are just going to, I think, map the questions that I have shared. These are common ones that are asked in interviews, right? So those we will solve. Uske baad I have some cross questions on those questions itself. So that also we will do. And uske alawa, I think from the next class onwards, we will start doing company specific questions. Matlab, we will do a question and we will also share with you the name of the company where it was asked. So you guys will have an idea before you sit for any placement drive. You will have some questions done on that particular one, right?
सर ये जो क्वेश्चन एरे पे आप कराने जा रहे हैं इसे आपने कहीं पे शेयर किया हुआ है पहले से ही?
मतलब
Sir, you have already said these questions that you are going to discuss in array revision class.
तो हम लोग का it is a part of the lesson plan. So we already have the questions preset.
Okay, sir. After the lecture, you will share us the link of that question, sir.
No, that is something that only we have. So you can ask your batch manager. She can share it with you. He or she can share.
Okay,
Please,
sir.
and yeah, please ask these doubts in the chat.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Sir, where can we see homework questions? It is in the Google Doc. Please don't ask for the link of the Google Doc again today. Homework is always updated in the doc. Yeah. SQL. So I told this in the last class. We will pick up DBMS, networking, and operating system. These three topics in 1 week of the next month. So in that particular week, we will also discuss a little more SQL, in which we will discuss subqueries as well. We will discuss a little more advanced join operations as well. Abhi, what I would suggest you guys is at least by that time, everybody have MySQL set up on their laptop and also be well versed with the current whatever has been done so far, all the queries and all the keywords that I have done so far. Be well versed with that. Uske baad we will when we pick up DBMS, we will do a lot of things, ER diagrams and normalization and all. Usme bhi we will just do a little bit of SQL along with that. Okay. So if someone has solved the homework questions, you can share the code on the chat if you want. I will be solving it anyway. So let me just share my screen now. Excuse me. I hope the screen is visible, guys. इस month तो हमें क्या-क्या पढ़ाया जाएगा? So we will go sequentially. अभी we are focused on arrays. Arrays के बाद recursion के बाद stack, queues, all these things. And after stacks and queues, let's say we take up linked lists like that. And I think month 2 में we will start off with the DBMS, OS and all those things. But month 2 के just बाद अपने start करेंगे. Month 2 का first week के बाद we will start off with advanced data structures. That is your trees, graphs and all. Yes. So guys, this question, I think most of you already have solved it at some point, or this was already done in a previous module. This is maximum subarray. What is a subarray, guys? Can you tell me what is the difference between a subarray and a subsequence? Subarray is contiguous, subsequence is non-contiguous. Yes, right. So what is the question? It is asking me to find the maximum subarray. So it is giving me an array and it is asking me to find the maximum subarray in that array. Now, what is the definition of a maximum subarray? Maximum subarray is the subarray whose elements, if I sum up, I will get the maximum sum. Is that clear, everyone? I think everybody is clear on this, right? है ना? तो has someone shared the code? Has anybody solved this question? Yes. So do you want to share the code? We can just use that and write an explanation. Okay, Shubham, I think you shared it first. So I'll just take up your function. Okay. Yeah. So this is maximum subarray for you guys. How do we solve this question? Let's just take up the code and do a quick recap on it. So guys, I can have positive and negative numbers both in the array, right? Now, if I want to do this question using brute force, what is the way I can do it? If I want to do this question using brute force, how can I do it? I have to find all the subarrays, right? And after finding all the subarrays, I again want to find the sum of all the subarrays, right? I want to find the sum of all the elements inside the subarray also, है ना? Yes. So I want to take the sum, I want to find all the subarrays, and I want to maintain the maximum sum somewhere, right? But Cadéan's algorithm basically gives us an approach to do it in big O of n, right? And how do we do it in big O of n? We maintain two variables. Instead of just maintaining the max, we maintain two variables. One is our max and the other one is max so far. Now, what is the concept of max so far? So you can see, guys, in this code as well, two variables are maintained, right? But both these two variables are, the name is different. So you can consider max so far to be this one and your result to be this one. In this, we are using two math.max. Instead of this, we can do it with one only. Yeah, I think only one math.max is required, है ना? Okay, who has shared it? Ajay. Yeah. So, right. So I have my, again, I have two variables. One is sum and one is the max value, which is set to integer.min value. Why is it set to integer.min value, guys? Because this is a maximization problem. I will use math.max somewhere, and this will be one of the parameters of the math.max. Okay. Now let's take an example array from this question itself. Let's take a small example array and let's iterate. Let's basically try run through it. Okay. So initially my sum is equal to 0 and my max is equal to negative infinity. Okay. Let's consider the sum to be 0 and max is equal to negative infinity. Guys, whenever I write negative infinity, I mean that I am basically referencing to integer.min value. And whenever I'm writing infinity, that means it is integer.max value. Is that clear? Yeah. So now I just want, since this is a O of n algorithm, I will only iterate through all the elements of my array, right? So I need a for loop for that. This is exactly that. Now, what am I doing? I am saying sum is equal to sum plus nums I. So I am basically adding the current element into the sum. I am adding the current element into the sum. So after the first iteration, what is the value of sum? Sum has become 5. Okay? Sum has become 5. Now I will update my maximum. What is the value of maximum? Value of maximum will be maximum of negative infinity and 5. The maximum of these two is 5 itself. So this will become 5. ठीक है, and if sum is less than 0, I will set sum to 0. I solved this question using prefix sum concept. Okay. Now again, in the next iteration, I have 4. My sum becomes 9. My max becomes 9. So far, what is the maximum subarray? This is the maximum subarray. ठीक है. इसके बाद क्या कर रहे हैं? इसके बाद I get -1. What is happening to my sum? My sum is becoming 8 now. But is my max updating, guys? Is my max updating? Will I update my max at this point? No, because the maximum of 8 and 9 is still 9. So my max so far will stay 9 itself. Is that clear, everyone? Right. Now, after this, still my maximum subarray is 5, 4. After this, I get a 7. So my sum becomes 15. And guys, will I update my max? Yes, since 15 is greater than 9, I will say max is equal to 15. Now, after this, again, now my subarray has become this entire thing. Now I get a 8. 8 plus 15 is 23. Maximum also becomes 23. And I return max at the end. Is this clear, guys? How 15? So 5 plus 4 was 9. After that, I did a -1. And after that, I added 7. So this was 15, right? Okay. Now let's take another example where let's say that my sum becomes negative in between. So let's say इसको कर देते हैं -10. ठीक है. So in this, what will happen? Initially, my sum is 0 and my max is again -infinity. I come to this, my sum becomes 5, my maximum becomes 5. I come here, my sum becomes 9, maximum also becomes 9. So my maximum subarray is this so far. Okay? After this, I get a -10. What is happening? Sum is becoming -1, right? So will my max update? No, my max will stay 9 only. But now this if condition will execute. What will happen? It will basically update the sum to 0 since I am getting a negative number over here, right? What does this mean? That this particular number is basically greater, is the absolute value of this number is greater than this particular part of the sub array, right? That is why I don't want to consider it if this is not the maximum. अब इसके बाद when I get a 7, my sum becomes 7, but my maximum remains 9. When I get this 8, my sum becomes 15, my maximum becomes 50, and this becomes the answer. Is this clear, everyone? Is this clear, everyone? Cadane's algorithm, right? Okay. Now, guys, tell me, have you done maximum product subarray? Have you done maximum product subarray? So was it done in the module itself, or did you do it by yourself? In module, do you want a revision of maximum product subarray as well? Okay, so let's do that. Max product subarray. This one, I think I've solved this. We need the lead code link. This was also done recently. So the only difference between this question and Cadane's algorithm, guys, is that this particular question is asking me to find the maximum product, right? So whichever subarray I'm picking, I want to find the product of all the elements instead of the sum of all the elements. Wouldn't the code fail if all elements of the array are negative? So you can see that I'm updating the max before I am resetting the sum, right? I'm updating the max before resetting the sum. So that is why it won't fail. ठीक है. So guys, maximum product sub array और maximum sum sub array दोनों का difference समझ में आ गया. वहां पर we are summing up all the elements of the sub array that I found. Here I am finding the product of all the elements, right? Changing sum's value from -1 to 0 won't affect the answer. So what does changing the value of sum represent? Changing the value of sum represents that this particular number that I have over here is greater, is the absolute value of this number is greater than this part of the array. The absolute value of this number is greater than this part of the array. That is why either I will not take it if this part is greater, otherwise if this part is greater, then I will take this one. So in my before I come to 10, in my maximum I have a value 9, right? अब let's say इधर I had 7 and 1 only, right? अगर इधर 7 and 1 होता तो my sum would have been 8 only, but my maximum would have remained 9. मतलब I would have given this sub array as the answer. समझ में आया? Why am I resetting the value of sum over here? What is the purpose of doing that? ठीक है. और अगर if you say, okay, yes, I'll tell you, Gagan, wait. If I take all negative numbers, let's say -1, -2, -3, and let's say rather -4 से start करते हैं, -2 and -1, ठीक है. So इसमें what is the max sub array, guys? The max sub array is just this one, right? तो अब इसमें what is the value of sum and max, right? Sum क्या रहेगा? Sum बनेगा -4, maximum बन जाएगा -4. Why? Because max of -infinity and -4 is equal to -4, right? अब after this iteration, sum is becoming 0 again, right? Then after this, sum is becoming -2, maximum is becoming -2, then sum is becoming 0 and then -3 again, right? But maximum is remaining -2. Then sum is becoming 0 and then it is becoming -1 and maximum is becoming -1. Is this clear? Right. So now guys, coming to the maximum product sub array. Coming to maximum product sub array, the only difference between the two questions is I want to find the product of the array elements instead of the sum, right? But product ka, what is the special thing about product? If you multiply two negative numbers, it becomes positive, right? So let's say that I was iterating my array. Let's say I was iterating my array. It was -4, -5, right? And then let's say I had a 10, and then I had rather -4, -5 की जगह, let's say -4, 5, 10, and then I had -6. Okay. So since two negatives make a positive, if I iterate in the Cadence algorithm way, what will happen? I will go to -4. Then I will say that this is the maximum product. Then when I go to this 5, what will I do? Instead of using this 4, I will just use the 5, and then I will go to 10. So 5 and 10, I will say 50 is the maximum sum. But one thing that I'm missing is -4 and -5 multiplied becomes positive. So 24 into 50, this is the maximum sum. All the values multiplied, right? So in order to achieve this, what will I do? I will maintain two variables. One is max so far and another one is minimum so far, right? So I will maintain two variables, max so far and min so far. So what is my min so far? My minimum so far will have the negative number products as well. Why will I maintain minimum so far? Because any value that is negative and the minimum, it can become the maximum if multiplied by another negative number, right? It can become the maximum if multiplied by another negative number. Do you agree with this? right? That is why I'm maintaining both the variables. So let's quickly dry run through this as well. Let's take a example from lead code only. So this one is the best one, right? So guys, over here I have a variable MA, let's call it maximum so far, and I have another variable MI, let's say it is minimum so far. 1 second. Yeah. So MA and MI, right? Initially, I am saying that it is the first value. So MA is equal to -2, MI is equal to -2, and my result is also equal to -2. Okay. Now I am running this for loop from the first element onwards. Okay. Now I will say, I will just allocate a new variable X, and I will say this is the maximum of the three values, right? I am trying to find the maximum of the three values, right? What are the three values? One will be the MA into current, other one will be MI into current, and the third one will be the current number only, right? I'm trying to find the maximum and the minimum both of these three values. Okay. So this one is the current element that I have. After this, I have nums of I into maximum and nums of I into minimum. So guys, -2 into 0. What is the value of that? It is 0 only. Again, if I just consider 0, then it will be 0 only. And this current variable is also 0. So what will be the maximum? What will be the value inside X after the first iteration? It will be 0, right? I did this in 2 loops, just like cadence. Okay. And over here I am, for Y, I am saying that I am maintaining the minimum value in Y, right? So I'm finding the minimum of these three values, right? Again, that will also be 0 in this case. Now I am saying MA is equal to X and MI is equal to Y. No, sorry. Minimum will be into 0. Yeah, math.min current minimum will be 0 only, right? So all the MA and MI both have become 0 at this point. And after that, no, I think we are making some mistake while dry running. Yes, minimum will be -2. So let me substitute the values here. So currently I have this is equal to -2, this is equal to -2, and this is also -2. X will be the maximum of -2, and over here I have -2. No, this is 0 and this is -2. Again, this is 0, this is -2. So what will be the maximum of these three? It will be 0 only. And over here I have -2. Yes, this is 0 and -2, 0 and -2. So the minimum will be -2. So MA gets updated to 0, MI remains the same. And what happens to my result? My result is basically the maximum of the current of max so far and the result, right? So if I say min of -2, 0, 0, the minimum is -2, right? So the result after this iteration will be what? In my result value, I will have 0, right? But can you see that I have still maintained -2 inside my minimum, right? I have still maintained -2 inside my minimum. Now what will happen? the moment it is multiplied by another negative value, it becomes maximum here, right? So the next element that I have is -1. If this -1 is multiplied by the minimum over here, it becomes the maximum, which is 2, right? So my max becomes 2 and my res becomes 2. Is this clear? Loop is running from the first index. Okay, so I have -2, 0, -1. Okay, I have 3 variables to maintain: max so far, and min so far, and I have my result, right? Initially I am saying all the 3 are equal to -2. Okay, now I will start my iteration from this particular point. Okay, now guys, what is the maximum value? Can you tell me the maximum of 0, -2 into 0, -2 into 0? What is the maximum of these 3? It is 0 itself. And for finding the minimum, if I do the minimum of 0, -2 into 0, -2 into 0, what will be the minimum value here? It will be -2, right? I am finding the minimum. Oh, sorry, this will be over here. I will have one parameter will be -2 and the other two will be 0 only. Wait 1 second. Let's just run it on VS Code and just print out all the values. Wait. I remember this question passes. Let me run it. Yeah, it passes both the cases. Acha, expected is also 0 over here, but the expected should be, the result cannot be 2 because, oh, an integer find the sub array that has the largest product. The result cannot be 2 because -2 and -1 is not a sub array. Achha, so is it asking me to ignore the zeros? I think that is why the result is also 0 over here. Yeah. So my minimum will again be 0, -2 into 0 and -2 into 0. Right? या बीच में अगर 0 है तो वो प्रोडक्ट करना पड़ेगा ना, तो वो अल्टीमेटली 0 ही हो जाएगा, राइट? एक काम करते हैं, let's take a better example where I have 2 negatives and there is no problem with a 0. Yeah. So let's say -6, 5, 4, and let's say I have a -2 here. Okay. Now max so far and min so far, and let's say I have the result. ठीक है, अब इतना confusing नहीं रहेगा. Initially, let's say again that I am initializing all the variables to be -6 in the beginning. Okay. After this, I come to this. I have 5. I am trying to find the maximum of the current element, right? Then the maximum so far into current element, and then the minimum so far into current element. Okay. Over here, I am trying to find the minimum of the current element, this and this. Can you tell me what is the evaluated expression here? What will be the maximum, guys? The maximum will be 5. Do you agree? So my maximum is 5. And what is the minimum here, guys? Minimum will be negative 30. So let's update the values. This will become 5 and this will become negative 30. And my result will become what? My result will become the maximum of this and this, which is 5. Okay? So which sub array am I considering at this point to be the maximum? I'm considering this sub array to be the maximum right now. Okay? Just 5 I'm considering to be the maximum. Now when I come to 4, what is happening? Max so far is becoming the maximum of the current element, then 5 into 4 and then minus 30 into 4. What is the maximum, guys, here? It will be 5 into 4, which is 20. So maximum becomes 20. And what is the minimum? It will be the min of negative 30 into 4 and the previous maximum, which is 5 into 4 and another variable, which is your current element, which is just 4. So the minimum will be this one, which is negative 120. Now I have stored the minimum so far and maximum so far both, right? So far I have stored the minimum so far and maximum so far, both of them. है ना? अब क्या हो रहा है? Now the moment I get a negative number, there is a chance for the minimum so far to actually become maximum. So over here, what is the max? It will be max of negative 2, comma 20 into negative 2, comma negative 120 into negative 2. What is the maximum, guys, here? It is 120 into negative 2, which is my 240, right? Again, minimum calculation we want to do. So it will be negative 2, comma 20 into negative 2, comma negative 120 into negative 2. So minimum again over here will become this, which is negative 40, right? No, rather, I think it will stay the same. No, it will update to this, right? And I will just say my result is equal to maximum of this and this, which is 240. So do you now know what is the purpose of maintaining both max so far and min so far, guys? So the minimum so far that was maintained is being used to find out the maximum now. समझ में आ गया? You are saying minimum will stay. So minimum का calculation एक बार वापस बता देते. So minimum के लिए initially I have negative 120, right? I am trying to find the minimum of the current element. What is the current element? It is negative 2. Now 20 into negative 2, which is the maximum into negative 2, and minus 120 into negative 2. So this is becoming maximum now, right? That is why I'm not using it. This will be the minimum so far. What is the point of maintaining minimum? Didn't you see that I had maintained this minimum over here, which is minus 120, and when it is multiplied by another negative number, it is becoming the largest one, right? It is becoming the largest one. So that is the point of maintaining the negative minimum, because there is a chance that this particular subarray can become the maximum later on. What are the element of subarray? How it be checked? What do you mean, Abhishek, by that? So I hope, guys, both the questions are clear. Maximum sum and maximum product. Everybody is clear on both of them, right? I need to print the element also if required by interviewer. Then how to process? Then you have to maintain the indices also. कि कहाँ से कहाँ तक का you have considered the subarray. But if you just say that I have, अगर तुम्हारा ऐसे update हो गया, right? So what is your result? You have to maintain one start and end for your result. Then again you have to maintain a start and end for your max so far, and again you have to maintain start and end for minimum so far. Why is it work? If you have understood, then why are you asking its logic? I don't understand your point over here. So which part are you having difficulty, Nasir? Tell me. Are in negative 120 is smaller, but what is our formula? The formula is this. So I'm trying to find the minimum of nums of I, which is the current element, which was -2, right? Then again, I was trying to find the minimum of nums of I -2 into maximum so far. What was the maximum so far, guys? It was 20. And again, the minimum of nums of I, which is -2 into minimum, which was, what was the minimum so far, guys? It was -120 only, है ना? So इन तीनों का evaluation क्या होगा? Yes, there is no 120 at all. There is -2, -40, and positive 240. So -40 is the minimum after this. For minimum subarray product, yes, exactly, it will work. खाली यहाँ पर maximum के जगह minimum करना है, and you have to take the minimum of res and minimum instead of res and maximum. So that will give you the minimum product subarray. इसमें minimum product subarray क्या होगा? -6, just this part. No, rather it will be -6, 5 and 4, which is -120. Yeah, पूरा. ठीक है. Is everybody clear on this? Okay. So just sharing this anyway with you guys. Actually, let me share this one. ठीक है. Now guys, this one, climbing stairs. ठीक है. So this is a very simple problem again. Climbing stair does not require DP at all. मतलब you can do it using a for loop also, and you can do it using recursion also, right? So recursion में there is one problem recursive way में करने का. Let's discuss that problem in the recursion class itself, but abhi let's do it using your for loop, which I think Shubham has already shared. Yes. So this is basically Fibonacci of an array where I'm maintaining the two values S1 and S2 that I want to sum up. ठीक है. इसका recursive वाला same है, exactly. You have to just perform Fibonacci. The only thing you have to consider is you want to start with one step, right? Because n is equal to 1, so there is no concept of n equal to 0. Recursion time complexity is large, yes. So this is O of n only. Pretty simple question. Not, I don't think ज़्यादा problem होना चाहिए. If I have only one step, there is only one way to climb the stair. If I have two steps, I can climb one stair at a time, and I can climb both the stairs at the same time, right? And if I have three stairs, I can do 1, 2, 3. I can do 1 and 2, I can do 2 and 1. समझ में आ रहा है? Right. So this is your Fibonacci series only. So if n is equal to 1, the number of ways I can climb the stair is 1. If n is equal to 2, the number of ways I can climb the stair is 2. For n is equal to 3, the number of ways is 3. For n is equal to 4, can you tell me? It is 2 plus 3, which is 5. For n is equal to 5, you will get 3 plus 5 is equal to 8. So it is the Fibonacci series. Right? Fibonacci series ka simple, you can write a for loop, you can maintain two values, but only thing is Fibonacci series mein there are 2 ones, or it sometimes it starts with 0 as well, right? So in some papers you will see that it starts with 0, and in some papers you will see it starts with 1. But idhar mein kya hai, idhar I have a single one only, right? There are no 2 ones. So the first values that you want to take is 1 and 2, and you also have to write the base case. So if it is less than 2, you can just return n. Yeah, and then you can start from the value 3 and just you have to just keep on swapping the values. So this temp is equal to S1, which is 1. Then I am updating S1 is equal to S2. So it is moving one step at a time. So if I just write the Fibonacci series 1, 2, 3, 5, 8 and 13, initially I can say S1 is here, S2 is here, right? In the next iteration, I am just moving them one step ahead. So S1 is here now, S2 is here, right? Again, I will just move it one step ahead. So S1 comes here, S2 comes here. Like this, it is moving ahead, and finally I am returning S2, which is my answer. Okay? Is this clear to everyone? Now, how will you write it in the recursive way? Recursive way में just create a Fibonacci, take n as input. Again, इसमें भी base case दे दो. If n is less than equal to 2, return n, right? And you just want to return Fibonacci of n minus 2 plus Fibonacci of n minus 1. ठीक है? I hope this is clear to everyone. It gives TLE. So let's say that you do Fibonacci of n is equal to 50. I think I have the code for it. I actually did it in both the ways. So यहाँ पर yes, so this is the Fibonacci normal one, and this is the Fibonacci iterative one, right? So DP का जरूरत थोड़ी ना है. DP में क्या हो रहा है? When you are trying to apply DP to Fibonacci, you are storing all the solutions. Right? So for n is equal to all the values, let's say you want the solution for n is equal to 5. If you are saying that you are applying DP, you are storing for n is equal to 1 से लेके n is equal to 5 तक all the answers, right? But here I only want the solution for n is equal to 5. So there is no use for storing the previous results. I just need the previous 2 items. But if we want to avoid TLE in recursion, then we'll have to use DP. Otherwise, iterative will work. Yes, iterative is working. हाँ, अगर तुमको recursive use करना है तो you can. So then also you don't call it DP exactly. It is like just I mean, then it will require extra space for you. So if I try to run the Fibonacci iterative for a large value, so let's say for 100, ठीक है? So 100 के लिए अगर रन किए you can see that it is stalling. So it is not executing at ekdam turant, right? But I will just update to Fibonacci iterative and executing. I'm getting the answer. The answer is overflowing my integer, but I'm getting the answer instantaneously. So I hope you are able to appreciate the difference in the time complexity of both of them. Again, you see, I started the recursive one and it is still executing. Okay. So I hope this question is more than clear, everyone. What these Java files contain? They contain all the data structures. So I have all the implementations of different data structures: circular linked list, double-ended queue, doubly linked list, queue using stack, queue using linked list, all those things. Yeah, I'll share it at some point in this module only. Yeah, so let's go to the next question. I hope everybody is clear, right? Sir, you will be taking next month too. Yeah, I will be taking module D. You have single instructor, so DP ka, I think we won't get a chance to do DP because DP is a topic reserved for module 4. So module 4 में तुम लोग का in detail you will get graph and DP. Mod backtracking will be done at some point in this module. थोड़ा बहुत questions we will do on backtracking, and we will also do some graph questions. Like the last module we had some spare time left towards the end. The last time, so we did some graph questions towards the end. Now yes, this is an interesting one, guys. So इसमें क्या है? Count negative numbers in a sorted matrix, right? So I want to count all the negative numbers in a sorted matrix. Now, what is a sorted matrix? Given an m cross n matrix which is sorted in non-increasing order, both row wise and column wise, right? So if I say that a matrix is sorted in ascending order, is it ascending or descending? The number of, so it is sorted in descending order, right? It is sorted in descending order, both column wise and row wise, right? Matlab, let's say this is your matrix. If I traverse from this point to this point, then the numbers will decrease. And if I traverse from this point to this point, again the numbers will decrease. Is this clear? So if I have 4, 3, 2, 1, right? Can I have any value greater than 4 over here? Can I have any value greater than 4 over here? No, right? So I will, let's say I have 3 here, 2, 1, and let's say 0. Then I have 2, 1, 0, and negative 1. So I can always say that the max value is the top left and the min value is the bottom right. Is this clear, everyone? I hope this is clear to everyone, right? Sir, please take little difficult questions. All 4 have already done. It's getting boring. So the problem right now is that we have to follow the lesson plan. So lesson plan में जो भी question दिया हुआ है ना, for any particular day, we have to take those questions only. And the reason for doing this is because we have all different types of students from all different backgrounds. So we basically want to carry all of them together, right? Rather than focusing on just the people who have understood so far, we want to carry all of the students together. तो सबको समझ में आना चाहिए, सब सेम लेवल पे आ जाने चाहिए. That is why we are just doing the revision, right? So I can say that the top left is the maximum and the bottom right is the minimum. है ना? So how do I want to count the negative values, guys? So let's say, guys, that in order to do this question, I want to just consider one thing, that in both the cases, the values will be decreasing as I proceed further, right? So if I go to this direction, the values will decrease. If I go to this direction, the value will decrease, right? Now, guys, let's say that while just don't consider this matrix. Let's say that while traversing any particular row, let's say I encounter a negative number, okay? And let's say there are some more elements after this. Can I be sure that the numbers after -3 are also negative? Can I be sure that the numbers after -3 are also negative? Yes, right. Similarly, if I'm traversing a column and I get a -1, can I be sure that the numbers after this in the column wise are also negative? So what am I going to do? I am just going to utilize this phenomenon to avoid traversing the entire matrix. I will avoid traversing the entire matrix by just utilizing this this restriction in the matrix, that all the values are sorted in both the cases. Okay, so let's just write the pseudocode for this. So let's say I say the row is equal to mat dot length and the column is equal to mat का 0 dot length. ठीक है, इसके बाद I just want to iterate till I have reached the ending point, है ना? Mat का 0 dot length, let's do -1 also here. And let's take row to be 0. Yeah, so we will start from the first row and we will end at the last column. Yes. So now I can just say a while loop. I will say while the row is less than mat dot length, right? While the row is less than mat dot length and the column is greater than or equal to 0, right? So this is basically a 4-pointer approach for you, right? So this is one, this is one. Okay. Now what will I do? I will just check if matrix का row comma column, if that is less than 0. If I get a negative value, can I just assume that all the values after that are negative, guys? So I will just maintain a result variable also where I will store the negatives. So I will just do res is equal to res plus what? I will add matrix का length minus my current row, right? And over here I can also do, so I am traversing one row at a time. So if I am at this point, I will do column minus minus, else I will do row plus plus. Yes, this looks right. Okay, so now let's just take an example matrix, guys. Let's say I have 5, 4, 3, -1, -5, and let's say I have 2, -1, -4, -10, -20. ठीक है? let's say that I have this particular matrix and I want to count the negatives, right? So initially I have row is equal to 0. Yes, 1 second. Initially I have row is equal to 0 and I have column is equal to the last column. So what is the last column, guys, here? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, it is just 4. Right? The last column is 4. Okay? So I will start from the last column. Right now, currently I am at this particular element. Okay? Is this element less than my 0? Is this element less than 0, guys? Yes. So according to this, what am I doing? I am doing res is equal to res plus mat.length minus row. So what am I adding? Res is equal to 0 and I'm doing res is equal to res plus mat.length. What is mat.length? Can you tell me? It is the number of rows in my matrix, right? Which is this 1 and 2. And what am I subtracting? I am subtracting the current row. So what does this denote? What does this denote? This denotes these two values. समझ में आया? Is this clear, everyone? Right? Yes. All elements including this and below it. ठीक है? अब क्या किए? अब कॉलम माइनस माइनस कर दिए. So what is happening? I came to this element now. ठीक है? Now since this is also negative, I will add these two as well. So my count is equal to 4. Again, column minus minus हो गया. So I came to this element now. But over here there is a difference. What is it? This element is positive. So instead of decrementing the column, I will increment the row. So my row is becoming this. So I am at this element now. Okay? So since this is negative, what will I add? I will do res is equal to res plus mat.length, which is 2 minus the current row. So row incremented, so row became 1. So 1 got added. समझ में आया? So only this element got added. Is this clear, guys? And after that, since this element was negative, I did a column minus minus and I came over here. Again, I will add this element, right? I will add this element and I will again do a column minus minus. I come over here. What do I see? I see that this is positive. So I do row plus plus. Row plus plus hote hi I come over here. This is out of bounds and my while loop will terminate. Okay? Is this clear to all? Everybody clear? Yes, time complexity, you can say. In the worst case, what am I doing? In the worst case, I will traverse. So let's say that all the values are positive in the worst case. Okay? If all the values are positive, I will just increment the rows, right? I will just increment the rows and finally out of bounds. So big O of n रहेगा अगर all the values are positive. And I think we can have a better worst case. Let's say that all the values in the last are negatives. ठीक है? All the values in the last row are negatives. तब क्या होगा? तब क्या हो रहा है? सबसे पहले we are traversed till the bottom, then I traverse like this. So it is O of m plus n in the worst case. Now if I consider all the values as negative, तब क्या हो रहा है? तब ये खाली इसके अक्रॉस ट्रैवल करेगा and it will count all these in chunks. समझ में आया? So the worst case is when? When is the worst case, guys? Can you tell me what is the worst case? This one. So worst case का भी worst case क्या होगा? Not all the values of the last column. When the first value of the last row is negative. So if I have a matrix where only the first value of the last row is negative, what does my traversal look like? My traversal will be this, then this, then this, then it will move here, then it will move here. समझ में आया? Is this clear, everyone? Oh, right. This case is also not possible. Yes, yes, yes. Thanks for pointing out, Vaibhav. Yeah. So I can have all the values as negative. That can be the worst case. Yes. Yeah, you're right. M plus n in both the cases it is big O of m plus n, and m plus n are basically, you can just consider it big O of 2n, and then asymptotically it is big O of n complexity. ठीक है, क्लियर है सबको? Okay, this is an interesting one. Majority element, right? Question क्या है? Given an array nums of size n, return the majority element. The majority element is the element that appears more than n by 2 times. So just consider the Lok Sabha, right? Any parliament. So parliament में whichever party has the maximum number of seats, they. No, you don't need a hash map for this. We will not use extra space. So, guys, any parliament building, you basically have more than n by 2 number of people in the same party, then that party is in majority. So that is exactly what we want to find out over here. How will we do that? You can either count all the values, right? You can either count all the values, or you can do something like, let's say that I counted this 2, and after that I just need to maintain this particular count. Or yes, what can I do? The moment I get this value, how can I do it without extra space is, let's say I have this particular series 2 2 1 1 1 2 2. Okay, let's say I have this, and let's say that I maintain, again I think I have to maintain 2 variables here. Let's say I maintain a variable count is equal to 0 and maximum is equal to 0. Okay, let's say I maintain these 2 values. Now, yes, Moore's algo, Vipin, you're right. Now what will I do? I come to this 2, and is this is my current count equal to 0, guys? Is my current count equal to 0? My variable count, is it equal to 0, everyone? Tell me. Yes. So what will I do? I will just say that this element is present in majority. I will say this element is present in majority. So I will do majority is equal to 2. Okay? Right. Now, after doing this, I also want to say that my majority element is present in 1. So far I have only read this one value. So I will say my majority element there is one number of my majority element. Is this clear so far? Now guys, I get another 2. What do I want to do? My majority element is already 2. So I will say the count of my majority element has become 2, right? The count of my majority element has become 2. Is this clear? Now guys, I get this 1. What will happen now? If I get a 1, what will happen? Is this a majority element? Is this a majority element, everyone? It is not a majority element. It is not the element in majority. So, in order to explain what I'm going to do now, let me just paint a picture. Okay? Let's say that, let's say this is the parliament. Okay? Now, let's say that this yellow one is the party in power. Let's say that the yellow one is the party in power. Okay? Now guys, tell me, if we do a 1 versus 1 combat over here, and whoever two get into a fight, both get killed. If whoever gets in a fight, both will get killed, then which party's member will remain? Which party's member will remain? Yellow, right? Because one yellow will take a blue, one yellow will take a blue like this, and finally this one yellow element will remain. Is this clear, everyone? Right. So that is what I want to apply over here. The moment I get a 1, I will kill one count of the majority. समझ में आया? समझ में आ रहा है? Now I get another 1. What do I want to do now? I will again kill one person from the majority. Now I get another 1. What do I want to do now? My count is 0. No one is in majority. So I will say majority is equal to 1 and the count is equal to 1. Because the array that I have traversed so far, has this 1 in majority. समझ में आया? The array that I have traversed so far has 1 in majority. Is this clear? Ab, the moment I encounter the next element, what is happening? Is this person from majority? No. So it will kill. So count again became 0, right? Now I get another 2. What will happen? Since no one is in majority, 2 will become in majority again and count will be 1. Majority is returned. Is this clear? Now you will say that, let's say I am considering 3 parties, right? Let's say I want to consider 3 parties. So let's say 2, 2, 1, 1, 3, 3, and let's say another 1. Okay? Yes, that is what I'm doing now. So over here, count is equal to 0, majority is equal to no one, right? Let's say I come to this 2. Let me just check the constraints as well. So nums of I can be anything between these 2 values. Given majority element appears more than, you may assume majority element also is not. So I am at 0. I am at this first element. Count becomes 1 and majority becomes 2, right? I get another 2. Count becomes 2. Majority remains 2. I get this 1. Count becomes 1. Majority is still of 2. I come to this one. Count becomes 0. Majority is still 2. Why? Because till this point I have equal number of 1s and 2s. Okay? Now the moment I encounter this 3, what happens? Since no one was in majority so far, but there is a condition where n by 2 times, this won't consider that. Okay, so this example is itself wrong. Yeah, the majority element is appear. Yeah. So let's take some more ones over here. So how many elements do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I need appears more than, so this, right? Now guys, I encounter this 3. Since this was 0, it becomes 1 and my majority becomes 3. I get another 3, this becomes 2 and my majority still remains 3. Then I get a 1, this is decremented. I get another 1, this is decremented. I get another 1, this becomes 1 and this becomes 1. Is this clear? Yeah, the example was incorrect. Since we needed a majority element with greater than n by 2, that is why. Repeat, okay. So I'll just quickly do that. Count is equal to 0, majority is equal to no one. I come to 2, count becomes 1, majority becomes of 2. I come to 2 again, count becomes 2, majority remains 2. I come to 1, count becomes negative because this 1 is killing this 2, right? And majority is still of 2, right? Now, again I get a 1. This 1 killed this 2 and the count became 0, majority was still of 2. Now when I come to 3 guys, can you see who is in majority at this point? All these are killed, right? Do you agree that all these elements are killed? Right? So who is in majority in the current array? 3, right? So my majority becomes 3, the count is 1. Another 3 comes in, the count becomes 2. Now I get a 1. What does this 1 do? This 1 dies and kills this 3. So my count becomes 1. I get another 1. This 1 will die and it will kill this 3. So count becomes 0. I get another 1. Since no one is in majority, this 1 only remains. So count 1, majority 1. Clear? If we take frequency map of the element, but it is O of n space. Yes. So you can see that it is very easy to solve this question is in using extra space, but there is a follow-up question. Can you solve this using O of 1 space? And this is exactly what is done in interviews. Easy question they throw at you and then they give a follow-up on that. कि अब बताओ इसको और optimize कैसे करो, right? You can use sorting, but it will take O of n log n, right? So if you give an example, right? If you give an example where the majority is not there, then it will reject it. If I try to run this, there is no majority element, invalid test case. Yes, it is called Moore's voting algorithm. This one. So I mean the name you can see voting. So I think you can imagine the parliament thing now, right? Now let's quickly code it out. I think everybody understands that this algorithm is big O of n and uses no extra space, right? So guys, tell me, what are the variables that I'm maintaining? I'm maintaining a count of the members and I'm maintaining a majority party name, right? So it will be integer count is equal to 0 and let's say integer majority is equal to 0. ठीक है? Now I just want to iterate through all the numbers in my nums. Can I use a for each loop for this? Yes. So for int element in nums, what do I want to do, guys? If the element is equal to my majority, what do I want to do? I want to increase the number of people. Okay. Else if the person is not in majority, it will kill one member, right? Count minus minus, right? And when the count is equal to 0, I want to change the party as well. So if is this clear, everyone? So we okay, fast. Yeah. Did I paste this climbing stairs? Did we write the code for this one, guys? Count negatives. We did not write. Okay, I think I missed it. Let's quickly write the code for count negatives also. You know? Do you want me to write the code? Should not take a lot of time. Acha, theek hai. Let's just go to the next question and then we can come back and write the code. Zyada mushkil nahi hai. I think I've done this question with you guys, right? Maximum consecutive ones, है ना? ठीक है? So इसी question का there is a follow-up question. Maximum consecutive ones 3, right? इस question में क्या है? There is only one condition. Given a binary array nums and integer k, return the maximum number of consecutive ones if you are allowed to flip k number of bits. If you are allowed to flip k number of bits, right? So let me consider one example. So let's say I have 1 1 1 0 0 0 1 1 1 0 0 1 1 1. Okay. Now guys, let's say my k is equal to 2, right? Now what is the maximum consecutive ones? This is one group, this is one group, and this is one group. But I am allowed to flip k number of bits. So I can make this one also, this one also. So this becomes my max consecutive. Is the question clear to everyone? Is this question clear to all? Yes, tell me. Whoever is not clear with this question, can you just tell me which part are you not understanding? Is the goal of the question clear? What is the purpose of the question? क्या पूछना चाह रहा है? What is it trying to ask me to do? Okay. So what does K mean? K basically is saying that the question is saying that you are allowed to convert K number of elements to 1, right? I am allowed to convert K number of elements to 1. So K is equal to 2. So how many elements am I allowed to convert? Tell me. Those who are not understanding, I want you guys to respond. Tell me. How many elements am I allowed to convert? Tell me. 2, right? So if I'm allowed to convert 2 elements, which element should I convert, guys? Which element should I convert? in order to maximize my result, which element will I convert? Should I convert these two? No. Which one will I convert, guys? I will convert these two. Why? Because this will help me maximize the consecutive ones. So I have 8 consecutive ones over here. Is this clear now? Clear? Hai? Whoever asked the doubt, can you please respond? Okay. Yeah. So how do I approach this problem? So I can count the number of ones, and I also can count the number of zeros, right? I will count the number of ones. Ones is equal to 0 and zeros also equal to 0. ठीक है, ये दो वैल्यू ले लिए. ठीक है, अब क्या करते हैं, अब एक फॉर लूप लिखते हैं that will iterate through all the elements, right? So for I is equal to 0 till n, what do I want to do? So if my nums I is equal to 0, I will do zeros plus plus. Is this clear, everyone? If the current element is equal to 0, I will do zeros plus plus, right? Now what do I want to do, guys? So if I have encountered a 0, what do I want to check? If I have encountered a 0, what do I want to check, guys? Yes. So let's say I iterate this example itself. Okay. Let me iterate this example itself. So I come to this one. Ones is equal to 1, right? Ones is equal to 1 at this point. Ones is equal to 2. Ones is equal to 3, right? Now I have a 0. So zeros is equal to 1. Then zeros is equal to 2. Now when I encounter this third 0, I have zeros is equal to 3. Now guys, is the zeros greater than k? Is the zeros greater than k? So is it possible at this point to convert elements and maximize my result? Is it possible to convert elements right now in the current state? Can I convert a few elements and maximize my result? No, I don't know what is beyond this point. I want to consider only up till this part. Up till this part, guys, should I try to maximize my result? Yes. So what will I do? I will basically convert these two values to ones, right? I will convert these two values to ones, and I will say my result is equal to 5 consecutive ones. Is this clear? ठीक है, अब क्या कर रहे हैं, अब आगे बढ़ जा रहे हैं. Now I am moving forward. Now कहां तक ट्रैवर्स कर लिया था? This point, this entire part was traversed. Now again I start from this point. ठीक है, so my maximum number of ones is 5, right? And my result is also equal to 5. The zeros that I had encountered, I will, so since I converted 2 zeros, I will say the number of zeros left is only 1 till the point I have traversed. Can I say that, everyone? The number of zeros that are left is only 1, है ना? Because I converted the other ones. Yes. So now I am at this particular index. What will happen? What will I do, guys? is it a 0? No. Then over here, is it a 0? No. Over here, is it a 0? No. Then I come to this particular 0. What will I do? Zeros, I will do plus plus. So this becomes what? This becomes 2, right? Then I get another 0. I do 0 plus plus. This becomes 3. Is that clear? We have to reset count. Count कहाँ से आ गया? Count तो कहीं पर भी नहीं है ना. I have ones and I have zeros and I have this variable called k, which is a user input only. Zeros को reset नहीं कर रहे हैं. The moment you are converting one zero, you are decrementing the value of zero, right? So let me explain this part once again. So I have ones is equal to something and zeros is equal to 3. Till this point, the number of zeros is equal to 3, right? Do you agree? Now I can convert values. So I am converting this to a 1. So I am saying 0 is equal to 2 now. Then I am converting this. I am saying 0 is equal to 1 now. समझ में आया? Now I can say that all these ones are consecutive. So the number of ones is equal to 5. Is this clear? ठीक है. अब क्या करना है? अब क्या करेंगे? अब अगला इटरेशन में जाएंगे. Again I have a 1, nothing to do here. 1, nothing, 1, nothing. I get a 0. What do I do, guys? If I get a 0, I will say 0 plus plus. So 0 becomes 2 again. But k is equal to 2. So is the number of zeros greater than k? No. I come here, 0 becomes 3, right? So what will I do? I will start converting. So what is my current scope? This is my current scope, right? So this will get converted, right? And this will get converted. Do you agree? Since I am allowed to convert two values, I will convert both of them. Is that clear? Right. Now, what is the maximum number of ones that I have here? This 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The maximum number of ones is still equal to 5, right? So no change here. Now what will happen? Along with the conversion, I again decremented the value of 0 back to 1. है ना? I again decremented the value of zeros back to 1. Do you agree? It seems like there is one mistake while dry running. One, two, and okay, this is also counted. Yeah. Then I come to this one, there is a 1. I come to this one, there is a 1. I come to this one, there is a 1. Now, if I consider this to be my current scope, can I just convert these two values and consider this entire consecutive ones? Tell me, guys. We also have to decrease the count of 1 every time we add k zeros to 1. So 1 ka value you are only changing when you are trying to maximize it. है ना? So let me just try to write the code for it. So if nums of I is equal to 0, I will say zeros plus plus. ठीक है? Now the moment I encounter the value of zeros greater than k, I want to start converting it. The moment I encounter the number of zeros greater than k, I want to start converting it. So I can say, let's say if zeros are greater than k, I want to convert, right? So I will say, अच्छा नहीं इसमें तो loop लगेगा. So because I want to iterate through the previous elements to find the zeros, right? So let's say I start from the value x is equal to 0. So if while zeros is greater than k, what do I want to do? I want to convert the value. So if nums x is equal to 0, I will convert it. So zeros minus decrement kar diye. And I will also increment x because I want to check the other values as well, है ना? And इसके बाद I can just say 1 is equal to maximum of 1 comma I minus x. Yes, this looks like it. Let me write it in a shorter way. Yeah. So now guys, let's quickly dry run through a small example ताकि clear हो जाए. Let's say that एक ही example ले लेते हैं. 1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1 ऐसा कुछ. Yeah, no need to add this one over here, right? So in this example, this while loop won't even execute only. So let me just illustrate this example and then we can go to the next. We also want to decrease the count. Yes. Yeah, nice. So if you have already done it, that's great. So what will I do here, guys? Zeros is equal to 0, ones is equal to 0, and x is equal to 0, right? So when I encounter this element, what is the value of x? X is equal to 0, right? So will this execute? No. Will this execute? No. Will this execute? Yes, because it is unconditional. So 1 will be what? 1 will be math.max of 1 comma I minus x. What is the value of I minus x, guys? I is equal to 0, x is also equal to 0. Do you agree? Are you following, guys? Anybody having any problem? Tell me, I can explain once again. Are you guys following? Okay, you stopped responding, so I yeah. Okay. So what is the maximum of ones and I minus x? Actually, it will be I minus x plus 1. Yeah. What is the maximum of 1 and I minus x plus 1? I minus x is 0 minus 0 plus 1. So the number of ones is equal to 1 at this point, right? Then if I encounter this one, what is the value of I minus x again? I minus x is 1 minus 0 plus 1. So the number of ones become 2. Is this clear? Now again, I have a 0. The number of zeros become 1. I get another 0. The number of zeros become 2, right? Now I get this 1. Again, what is the maximum? What is the maximum? It will be I, which is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 minus x plus 1, which is 5. So ones is 5, right? And again, for this last iteration, the ones become 6. Is this clear? So why didn't this while loop execute? Why didn't this while loop execute? Because the number of zeros that I have in the array is within the constraints. It is within the value k. that I want to convert, right? I can convert all the zeros in my array, है ना? Can I say that, everyone? That I can convert all the zeros in my array? Yes. So now let's take a little more complicated example. Zeros is equal to 0. Let's take k is equal to 1 only. And let's say 1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 1. Okay. Now, what should be the maximum here, guys? If I'm only allowed to convert 1, what is the maximum? This part should be the maximum. Do you agree? Yes, this part should be the maximum, right? So I will just say, I will start my iteration. I get a 1. The maximum number of ones is 1. I get another 1. The maximum number of ones is 2. I get a 0, right? But the zeros become 1. Is the number of zeros greater than k? Is the number of zeros greater than k, guys? Is the number of zeros greater than k? No, it is not greater than k. So what do I want to do? I don't need to execute this while loop right now, since I can convert this 0. So I will say maximum number of ones is 3. Is that clear? Now, when I come to this, now the 0 is getting out of bounds. Now I have 2 zeros and I can only convert 1. So what do I want to do? I want to start traversing from x is equal to 0. So x is over here, right? Is this value a 0? No. Move ahead. Is this value a 0? No. Move ahead. Is this value a 0? Tell me. This value is a 0, right? So what will I do? I will decrement the 0. What does that mean? That this particular part of the array is no longer in my scope. Is this clear, guys? Is this clear, everyone? Okay. So I decrement the value of zeros by 1. So 0 becomes 1. And where is my x at the end? Is my x over here or is my x over here? 1. Then it comes here. So x comes over here. Now, after this, I get a 1, right? What do I want to do at this point? I want to find the maximum of the previous scope, which is 3, and the current scope, which is, what is the value of I here? Current scope में I have 4 minus 3 plus 1. समझ में आ रहा है? Which is maximum is still 3, which is my previous scope. ठीक है? उसके बाद I get another 0, right? I get another 0. Number of zeros becomes 2. Now, what do I want to do, guys? I want to again modify my scope. So x will come where? Tell me. X will come over here, right? Because this value was equal to 0, x got incremented and 0 got decremented to 1. Is this clear? Now this is my current scope. अब इसमें I proceed over here. I get a 1. What is the maximum? Maximum of 3, x कहां पर है? 4 पर है. तो I is at 6. 6 minus 4 plus 1. What is the max? It is still 3. Then I come over here. I do max of 3, 6, rather 7 minus 4 plus 1, which is equal to 4. Is this clear now? Who all are clear, guys, and who want to who want another explanation on it? Yeah, I would say let's write the code and then we will be even more clear with this. So I can say int zeros is equal to 0, int ones is equal to 0, right? And my pointer is equal to 0, which is it is at the initial place. Now for int I is equal to 0, comma I is less than. Can I use a for each loop here also? I think so. Yeah. For int element in nums, if element is equal to 0, I want to do zeros plus plus, right? कल ही तो font size बढ़ाया था. Every day it keeps on increasing. Now we don't take I minus x. How each works, since we need index? Oh right, we are taking I minus x, so we need a for. Yeah, for I is equal to 0, comma I is less than num dot length, comma I plus plus nums of I, right? And over here I want to write my while loop while my while zeros is greater than the number of values I'm allowed to convert. I will say if nums x is equal to 0, just decrement 0 is minus minus, and I want to do x plus plus unconditionally. And finally maximize ones. So ones is equal to max dot max of ones, comma I minus x plus 1. And I want to return the ones at the end. So this looks right. Let's run it. Okay, did it pass? Right? Anybody has any doubts regarding this? Tell me. Explain line number 14. So I want to maximize the number of ones, right? So are you familiar? How am I changing the scope? How am I changing the scope? Right? So if I dry run through this, right? Now I over here current scope is this much, right? Then since the number of zeros in this array, the number of zeros is within the limit. Can I say that the number of zeros is within the limit, right? Tell me, Ankit. Is the number of zeros within my limit? Yes. But the moment I go over here, is the number of zero out of my limit now? Yes, right. So I want to change my scope. So I will say now this is my scope. Why? Because this particular sub array has only one element, and that element is a 0, and I can convert it to get only ones. Is that clear? Now, if I move to the next element, is the number of zeros within my scope? Yes. And if I move here, now is it increasing? Is the number of zeros greater than my limit? Yes. So I will change my scope again. I will make it this, right? and then it will increase till this point, and finally I am taking out the max of all my scopes, right? So this I minus x plus 1, this basically gives me the length of the scope. Is this clear now? Is everybody clear with this question? Sir, we keep on taking j minus L plus 1 if it is 0 or 1. But when count of 0 becomes greater than 0, then we reduce count of 0 back in range of k. Yes. So, are you explaining your understanding? That's the logic. Huh? Yes. We are changing the scope. Matlab, I am maintaining the maximum variable, right? I am maintaining the max variable, which is my ones at all points, right? So in my max variable, I will have the maximum number of ones stored with me at any point, right? Now I want to traverse the entire array. So I am just modifying my scope according to the elements that I am getting, so that I can find out the maximum values after this particular point as well. Can I have a scope like this? Is it possible to have a scope like this? No. Why? Because there are 3 zeros in between and my tolerance is only 1. I hope this question is clear to everyone. किसी को कोई भी doubt है तो पूछ लो. We have some time today. Do you want me to code this real quick, everyone? Let's code it out. I don't think it will take a lot of time. So matrix वाला question है, खाली row and grid के through iterate करना है, right? So int res is equal to 0 and int row is equal to 0 and int column is equal to grid का 0 dot length minus 1, right? And now I just need a while loop. While loop के अंदर दो conditions, the row should be less than the maximum value and the column should be greater than the minimum value, greater than equal to the minimum value. So row is less than grid dot length, right? And my column should be greater than equal to 0. Is this clear, everyone? Is this clear, guys? The while loop. I think this is what I wrote over here also. Yeah. Now, what do I want to check, guys? I want to check for negatives. So if grid ka row and column is less than 0, what does that mean? That it is negative, right? And what do I want to do? I want to say count or my res plus equals. What do I want to add to my res? Grid dot length matrix dot length minus row. Yes. Grid dot length minus row. So basically adding counts of current element plus all below it. Is this clear? And after this, I want to say, yes, I want to decrement the value of column because I will move down, because I will move towards the left. So column minus. I think it's my bracket like that. Right? And if this is not the case, I am saying row plus plus. finally I can return this. क्लियर है सबको? Okay, so this one was previous. This is clear. Majority element, guys. Moore's voting algorithm, it is clear. Shivam, that is something that you can ask in your one-on-one session or your project mentor. Okay. So this Moore's voting algorithm is clear, maximum consecutive ones. I hope everybody understands how we are changing the scope and finding out the maximum of the current scope, right? That is exactly what we are doing here. इसके अलावा count negative numbers. This is basic, मतलब traversal of matrix in a smart way, right? Climbing stairs is Fibonacci and this is cadence. So everybody clear with everything, right? The portal is very flaky. Just make sure you have written down the exact thing that I have here. I don't have access to the portal, guys. You guys have access. I have access to the admin portal. So we will discuss that prefix. I mean, we have a prefix sum. I think we will have the prefix sum discussion in some point in the 4th week. So tab apne prefix sum and prefix or all those things we will discuss. ठीक है? Any other doubts, guys? Yeah. So resources on recursion. Gagan, can you DM me on Discord, Gagan? Yeah. Tomorrow, mostly we will be taking up recursion only. So I will share some of the resources with everyone tomorrow. And I think you are a little curious, so I will share it with you today. ठीक है. So guys, I think we are time. Recursion का देखो, recursion का अपने क्या करने वाले हैं? पहले तो एकदम बेसिक्स मतलब वापस से we will just go through the stack trace. Stack trace, I hope everybody knows what is stack trace, right? We will do the recursion tree, right? We will discuss recursion tree for some questions, and then we will also discuss कि how to approach a recursive problem, कि कैसे पता लगाएं कि ये problem recursion से solve हो सकता है. उसके बाद अपने recursion का कुछ practice questions करेंगे and फिर तो recursion आता ही रहेगा आगे revise करते करते. ठीक है guys, so I'll just end the session for today. We are 1 minute away. ठीक है, चलो, good night, bye bye.